Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I'm very happy to be here. I'm always grateful and happy to share Zentangle with you. Here's my contact information. You can always email me. Here's my social media info, and if you happen to post to social media, please use @BBL_tangles, and then I get notified that you have put something for me to look at. I'm trying to think and talk and do too many things at the same time. All right, this week I found a string that I really liked on the Today's Tangles Keeping It Classic group in Facebook, and I really like that group because she only uses the classic Zentangle patterns that have been published. And this was the string, and I put it on here. Now if you turn it, let's see, this is how I actually did it. So this was this area and kind of a triangle, and then it just happened. And I just wanted to show you that because I have some people that ask me, how do I pick my patterns? Basically, the best thing to do is to make it random. And I did this string and I put it on the tile, and then I thought, well, maybe I could practice with some of the 102 Tangles of Zentangle that I have not done a video for yet. And so just randomly, I picked Cyme, I think some people call it Cyme, Locar, and Marasu. And I just looked at my list, and the first one that I looked at, I said, okay, I'm going to put it on there. And so I have shown you in the past that I am putting all of these patterns onto bijou tiles again. And one of the things that you can do if you're doing the same thing, just cut out 2x2 size pieces of paper, cardstock or whatever, and put your files or your tangle patterns on there, and then just put them into a group in a bag and pull some out and put them on your tile and see what happens. I just encourage you, because I'm trying to encourage myself this week also, to not worry. Just do a string, pick some patterns, put it on there, and see what you get. I've done that more this week because that's what I did when I first found Zentangle, and I loved it. So I've enjoyed that this week. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be using a Zentangle 3.5-inch tile. My hashtag is 102 Tangles of Zentangle because that's the poster that introduced me to Zentangle, and I have less than 30 to go after I finish this video. So there's that. Here's the string we're going to use. For tools, I'm going to have my Micron 01, my Micron PN, which means plastic nib, my blending tool, also known as a tortillon, and I keep this in there so that the tip stays pointed, our Zentangle graphite pencil, and I always keep an eraser close by. Now, if you don't have those supplies, use what you have on hand. Just draw a square on a piece of paper and follow along, okay? So let's start with a deep breath and much gratitude for Zentangle, okay? Again, this is the string we're going to use, but we're going to start with our 4 corner dots. again, being grateful for just a small tile. Maria calls it the elegance of limits. You don't have a huge canvas to be working on. Okay. So we're going to come down over here and just, not trying to make a perfect line. A string is just a suggestion for an area. Okay. I didn't do that very dark. I'll go ahead and do it dark. On yours, just do it lightly. Okay. So there's our string. And the first pattern that I happened to look at was Marasu. And so I'm going to put it in that corner. And I'm going to use my Micron PN. Sometimes a spiral can be kind of intimidating, but just start with a circle, like you're going to make a circle, and come out a bit. And then just take your time coming around. And I'm hoping to keep my spacing about the same, but it rarely is, and that's okay. I'm going to come around. Okay. And if it wasn't going under there, it could come around again like this, and then we'll just stop. So the first thing we're going to do is just put two little bands, two little C shapes, like this. And for this one, okay, I did it solid. And on this tile, I left a sparkle in the center. And I'm going to do the sparkle. You do it the way that you want and what you're most comfortable with on your tile. Okay. So just bring it up a little bit. I'm not trying to get this to be a straight line. Okay. A sparkle is just kind of glittery. And then I'm going to put an aura on each side of that. Okay, so we're just going to move around this coil, the spiral that we have, and fill these in. Okay, and then I'm going to put my aura on each side of that. I took a fun class when I was first learning Zentangle. The person that put that poster out was Victoria McMillan. She's a CZT, and found out she lived really close to me. And I took a class from her at a community college. And when we did Marasu, she had us do this little exercise of just drawing ribbons. Okay, so we just did a ribbon. I'm doing that kind of fast. And then she had us come up with whatever little extra things we might want to do for Marasu, different patterns, maybe like that kind of thing. So, you know, play with it. It was a good exercise. And speaking of Victoria, like I said, she used to live just a couple of miles away from me, and then she moved to California after her husband passed away. And she's coming to visit me next week and stay with me for a couple of days. And we are great friends, and I'm looking forward to having her here. And yes, we will Zentangle. Okay. And you may end up with one of these little bands right underneath another one. That's okay. And you can make these wider than what I'm doing. I always encourage you to look at what others have done. My favorite is the Mosaic app because it's so easy to find those tiles. I can just search by the name. They do have a free version of the Mosaic app. I'm not sure if that one allows you to search, but I hope it does. Okay, just keep coming around. And I've really enjoyed focusing on these patterns as Zentangle celebrates their 20th anniversary of teaching classes. And next year, a year away from now, in April of 2025, there will be a Zen again, which is only for CZTs. And I think I'm going to go to that. So, be fun to be there and make new friends and possibly see friends that I've come to know since I became a CZT. Okay, so we're just going to keep going around. If you're new to my channel, I don't speed things up. You know, I've thought about this lately, that when I see even a short video where it's sped up really fast, it kind of takes away from the basic reason that we do Zentangle, and that's to slow down and enjoy one line at a time. And I think it gives the impression that you should be able to do this really fast. I don't do any of my tiles really fast. So, just saying, I don't speed it up, and I don't add music. That's also very distracting to me, some of the music that's played. I just want to have quiet. In the mornings, I have very peaceful music playing. Okay. So here, I'm just gonna pretend that one is coming down this way. Okay. And I'm not gonna worry about putting anything up there in that corner. All right, so there's Marasu. And I was totally focused on doing this. I hope it stayed on the screen, but it was very repetitious. So, okay. That is Marasu, and it's more beautiful when you add the shading. Okay. Down here in this edge, this triangle edge, I'm going to put bumper. Now, on the 102 Tangles of Zentangle, the pattern on that poster is Locar. But Locar and bumper are pretty much the same thing. Okay, so bumper was retired, and if you look at tanglepatterns.com, it says see Locar. The main difference is, as you can see here, that this one, bumper, kind of makes a border and has these little dark beads behind it. But, sorry. So, bumper is more of a border, okay? Where Locar is kind of a stem, more organic. And so, I just wanted to fill in this corner, so it's basically doing the same thing. Okay, so you end up doing basically one continuous line. Okay, so I'm going to come back this way a little bit. And you can make these pointed or rounded or squarish. I'm going to come back this way. So we're always going to kind of go in one direction. And then we're going to come back and go under that one. Okay, come over, come down, and go back this way. Okay? So if we were doing Locar, then I would come up this side. But we're just going to keep going around. And you could make it a little bit bigger since we do have a good open space. We'll make some of these start coming a little bit higher. And I tend to make mine a little bit wiggly. I think of it as kind of like an algae or something. Seaweed, I don't know what you would call it. Okay, this one, just kind of wing it on the corners. Have it come up this way. Again, this is not a contest and we're not getting graded. No mistakes. Just have fun with it. Okay, let's make this one come up a little bit higher. And then back this way. I've never tried it big. So let's do it. I don't think I've used this very often. It has been really fun for me to go through these 102 tangles. I'm really enjoying it. Some of these I only have drawn maybe once, and that was when I did my bijou tiles just before I joined today's Tangles, Keeping It Classic. I went through and did tiles this size for all of the patterns, and that was a really good experience. Okay, so this one would be coming from behind here, so just have it hidden. Would be coming this way. We'll have another one. And then here comes our one coming from behind. Keep turning your tile. Okay. Like I said, just do a guess. How would this stuff be working? We'll shorten that one. Here comes another tall one. Coming back this way. Seriously, just have fun with it. And I have really enjoyed it this week. Doing more of the classic type tiles. And I'm just going to let that one meet. Okay, so that's Bumper. And like I said, if you wanted to do Locar, then that's how it looks. And you could do pointed, you could do anything the way that you like it. Okay, so like I said with Bumper, there are these little black orbs. Let's put one in this corner. And what I did with mine was I kind of left a border. So what I'm saying is do my orb, and then kind of aura inside that, and then fill it in with a little bit of a sparkle. And that, I think I've heard that called caviar, but that's what I'm doing down here. So just pick a couple of places to put your orb. And you could just do a black orb. You don't have to do what I'm doing. And I'm not going to put very many. Let's put one in here. But it does add a little bit of drama, and I enjoy that. All right, let's put one down here at this bottom. And we'll put one here. And I do apologize that sometimes my tile goes off the screen because it's not, my camera's not where I can always exactly see it. Okay, so that's bumper. And next I'm going to do Cyme or Cyme. I'm never sure how to pronounce that. Excuse me. And for this one, I'm going to switch to my Micron 01. Just so, because there's a lot of little auras on here, and I think it would be easier to do it with my 01. All right, just somewhere here in the center, I'm going to do 5 petals. So here's 1. And I'm never sure of the spacing, but there's no mistakes. If you end up with 6 petals, then go with 6 petals. Practice a couple of times on a scratch sheet of paper if you need to. I just love this beginning flower. It's so cute. And now we're just going to do an aura. And I will try not to turn my tile too many times. But it's just so much easier for me if I have my pen pointed toward what I'm trying to aura. So I don't want my hand to be in the way. Okay. Oh, sorry. So next we're going to add that same little petal between each of these petals. And we're going to aura it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the aura while I'm here. You could do each of the petals and then come back. Just take your time. I remember when I first learned Zentangle, hearing that you should be able to finish a tile in 15 minutes. I think I've rarely finished in 15 minutes just because I like to take my time. Just enjoy what you're doing. Okay, so now we have that all the way around. And we just keep going. Just keep adding more little petals. Now, not necessarily right above this one. You could add one here. And then add another one here. And then while you're here, add another one. And then come to this side. And I want you to notice that our string came this way, right? But we can just ignore that string. And we could have ignored it here too and finished our Marasu. So again, this is your tile, your art. Make it the way that you want to make it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put one right here. And I think I'll go ahead and make one right over that. You know, you could build on one side at a time or keep turning your tile. This makes it look like it's spinning. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go over that one. This is called a blossoming tangle. And that just means it's a pattern that starts in the center and moves out. Okay. And I have gone past my border. That's okay. Borders and strings are just suggestions. It's a way to get an idea of how to place your patterns, but it's okay to go past that. Okay, as we get close to our other pattern, I'm going to have it go behind. Okay. Take deep breaths, relax your shoulders. Enjoy one line at a time. And you can make this go out however far you want to. Okay, so this one would be going behind, come up about like that, come around. I think this is a very pretty pattern. Just turn your tile, look at it, see what you want to add. I'm still trying to decide how I want to put these 102 tangles together. I know a few of you are following along, and I had one lady show me her little sketchbook that she was putting together with these patterns, and it was so pretty. Great idea. And again, this is another one of the patterns that once you do it and you start building this blossoming group of lines, it's easy to remember. And so you can just keep going and going, go off the page. Isn't that cool? You see on this one, I just kind of went around this. Trying to decide if I want to make this one complete. You know, I think I do. Let your art talk to you. I am going to connect this Marasu and finish it. So this would come down here. Add my little sparkle. Okay. Again, our string lines are just suggestions. Okay, I like that better. And so we'll have this one come this way. Come right next to it. So I think I'm going to put just a few more of these. You have probably seen enough. Continue to make as many of these as you would like. Okay, I think it needs one more, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, I like that. All right, now we're going to do some shading. So for bumper, I'm just going to put some shading along the bottom. And I find that in the step outs, this is what Zentangle does quite often when you have something like that, is just add some shading along the bottom and it pulls it together. Now, if you want to go in and add a little bit of shading on each side of those, feel free to do that. But these are so tiny, I'm just going to do this. I am close to a window, so if the lighting keeps changing, that's why. Okay, and I am going to put a little bit more of a shadow right here where it goes behind Marasu. Okay, so now for Marasu, I am going to come in and put shading all along these lines. And we'll have some on the inside too. So both sides of these lines. Get some graphite. And I'm doing it all at once so that I'm not spinning this tile too many times for you. Now, if the string line bothers you, you can take it off. I'm not going to worry about it. Zentangle pencils don't come with erasers, but I do keep one handy. Okay, so I have a little bit of graphite on each side of the Marasu. And then I'm just going to come in and soften that. But I'm only going to pull it toward the center. I'm not going to let this part be shaded. That is part of our sparkle. So I am just gently pulling that down. You're pushing the graphite into your paper. And this is where you get the really cool effect, where it looks like an actual coil that's rolled up. Okay, and I actually think I'm going to take that out. Okay, just looks kind of confusing to me. Okay, excuse the sound of the trash truck if you can hear it. Okay, now since we've put graphite all along in here, I am going to redefine that line. And it really does make a difference. Come back around. Okay. Didn't mean to make it quite that thick, but it's okay. And this is something that Maria does quite often to redefine the line. Okay, so there we go. There's Marasu. And for Cyme, Cyme, however you say it, I'm going to put graphite all around this initial little shape that we made. Kind of like a star flower. And one thing I always forget to mention is that I do have links in all of my descriptions to tanglepatterns.com and musterkel.de, and that is where I find most of my patterns, because I try to teach patterns where you can go find the step outs in case you want to do this again and you can't, and you don't necessarily want to have my video up all the time. You want to be able to look at step outs and follow them. That's what I loved the most about Zentangle when I started doing it, was the step outs. It was fantastic. I still love it. Okay, so I'm just going along the base of each of these little flowers, or petals, leaves, whatever you want to call it, and adding a little graphite to show that they're going behind another petal. Just, you don't need much. All right, now we're going to soften it with our blending stump. And I've started saying blending stump because when I call it a tortillon, it shows up in the closed caption as tortilla. And I think that might be confusing. Okay. So that's a little dark, but we'll leave it and see what we think. And then just come out to these and very gently soften them, because we don't want to fill in the whole petal. I know with Molly, she likes heavy shading. You do it the way you like, because this is your art. Yes, you are an artist. It took a while for me to say, yes, I'm an artist again. I did some art when I was in high school, but was never really pleased with what I was doing. And then after high school, I didn't do much. I did crafts, but not drawing. And then I saw Zentangle, and it just, I was so excited when I found it, and I have loved it ever since. I love sharing it. I love teaching it. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of shadow along here where it goes behind. Okay, let me show you something. You don't have to do this, but with the kneaded eraser, if I decided that this was way too dark, then this is just softening it. And I can just put it on there like that. I don't know if you can see. And it just lifts that graphite, just the slightest bit. Okay? And then go back and soften that again. Okay? I learned that from Annie Reiser. She does botangle.net. Unfortunately, she's not teaching anymore, but her videos are still out there, and they're awesome. All right, there we go. We did another one. I think I'm close to having 25 to go. I'll have to look. All right, there we go. We did another one. All right, pretty close to what that one looked like. And Zentangle can be turned in any direction. Okay, so just find a place to put your chop. I think I'm going to, I think I'll put mine over here this time. Remember to put your pattern names on the back. Put the date and maybe a little bit of information about the day, how you felt while doing this. And this is video 26. Wow. That's pretty cool. All right. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a great week. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, subscribe, share, and leave comments. That really supports my channel, and it helps other people find my channel and learn how to do Zentangle. Thank you so much. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.